The city slept beneath twin moons, its streets carved with silence. A human laborer, weary from the mines, should have walked past the fountain without a word. But he didn't. He whispered something so simple, so fragile, that it froze an alien woman where she stood. "You're beautiful." In a world where humans were mistrusted and affection was a dangerous risk, that single phrase threatened to unravel everything she thought she knew. What happens when a forbidden whisper ignites a fire no council can extinguish? If you love stories where humanity dares to cross the boundaries of fear and culture, you're in the right place.
The alien
Tap
city
that
rested
like
like a
button.
sculpture under moons.
Subscribe for more
Its
tales of
arches
wonder and
carved from
survival,
pale
and share
stone.
this story with
Its
someone who
markets
believes
emptied
love
of
can
noise.
break even the
Only
coldest
the wind
silence.
dared to speak, slipping through alleys like a restless ghost. A lone human walked those streets, boots heavy, back bent beneath a sack of tools. He was an outsider, a laborer pulled from a distant star, and though he worked their minds until his hands bled, he remained a stranger in every eye that met him. Humans were tolerated here, but never embraced. They were the workforce, the shadows in the background of the city's wealth. Tonight, as dust clung to his skin and fatigue pressed against his shoulders, he longed only for sleep. And yet, fate had other plans. At the fountain in the square, she appeared, an alien woman wrapped in a cloak of midnight, silver hair lifting in the wind. Her gaze was tilted skyward, her presence still, almost untouchable. He should have passed by, should have turned into the narrow street that led to his quarters. But something stopped him. It was as if time itself leaned closer, waiting. And in that pause, their story prepared to begin. For a long moment, they simply looked at one another. The human with dust still clinging to his skin, the alien woman with eyes like distant storms. Every lesson he'd learned told him to keep walking, to let silence guide him. Yet silence pressed too heavy that night. His chest rose, words forming against his better judgment. And then, almost carried away by the wind, he whispered, "You're beautiful." The sound was fragile, but it struck her like an arrow. She froze, breath caught, as though even the night had stopped moving. Among her people, beauty was never spoken so raw, so unguarded, least of all by a human. Her lips parted, trembling. No one had ever dared say such a thing to her. He lowered his gaze, shame rising like fire in his chest. He braced for anger, for the sudden presence of gods, for rejection. But instead, she only stared, searching his face as if for hidden cruelty. And in the stillness, something unexpected stirred inside her. Why would he say that? The question lingered unspoken, but her heart already raced with the answer she feared. Because he meant it, she almost told him to leave, yet the word that escaped her lips was the opposite. "Wait!" It surprised them both. The human stopped, his grip tightening on the strap of his sack. Slowly, he turned, his eyes searching hers. She couldn't meet his gaze. Instead, she stared at the glowing water in the fountain. "No one has ever said that to me. Not like that." He hesitated, then set his sack down, stepping closer but not too close. "You should have heard it long ago," he whispered. His voice carried no demand, no mockery, only a gift offered freely. She felt her knees weaken beneath the weight of it. That night became the first of many. They began to meet at the fountain, speaking of small things at first, the mines, the council, the stars above. But slowly, their words deepened. He told her the world he had left behind, a planet scarred and silent. She shared her memories of orchards heavy with fruit, of her mother's songs that still lingered in her ears. Each meeting circled back to that first whisper, "You're beautiful." And with every echo of it in her heart, she felt herself change. But in a city that never slept for long, secrets had sharp ears. Her absences grew noticeable. Her glances toward the human quarters, harder to hide. Whispers stirred like restless birds in the council halls and marketplaces. And soon, suspicion began to shadow her every step. One night at the fountain, her voice trembled as she confessed what haunted her. "If they find out, they will punish us both. My people do not forgive such things." The human's eyes didn't waver. "Then let them punish me," he said quietly. "But I won't take back what I said." Her breath caught, just as it had on the very first night. She realized that it wasn't only his words that bound her, it was his refusal to regret them. Yet danger pressed closer with every meeting. She knew their bond could ignite fury, could fracture the delicate balance between species already hanging by threads of mistrust. Still, she couldn't stay away. His presence had become a fire in her chest, a light she couldn't extinguish no matter how the darkness pressed in. And she feared, more than discovery, what it would mean to lose that light. The night of reckoning came softly, without announcement. The moons drifted high, silver light washing the square, and once again they met by the fountain. But now, every word felt heavier, every glance edged with the knowledge of risk. She stood close, cloak drawn tightly around her. "They will never understand us," she whispered. He shook his head, eyes steady. "They don't have to. I meant every word then, and I mean it now." For a moment, silence stretched like an unbroken thread. Then she let herself breathe, let herself believe. What had begun as a whisper had grown into defiance, a truth neither fear nor punishment could erase. Their bond would not topple empires or shift councils, but it had already done something greater. It had shown two souls, once divided by worlds, that they could see each other fully and without regret. And so, under the twin moons, their story lived, not in proclamations or victories, but in the quiet strength of a single whisper that changed everything. Love, after all, doesn't always roar. Sometimes it arrives softly, carried in the breath of a stranger, reshaping a life in ways no one could have predicted. Think about it. How often do we underestimate the power of simple words? One moment of honesty, spoken without expectation, can ripple through another's world like starlight across a dark sky. That night, in a silent city of stone and suspicion, two hearts found each other, not because they were supposed to, but because truth is a way of finding its voice. And maybe, just maybe, that's the kind of defiance the universe needs most.